Hi everybody and welcome to an Age of Fantasy Skirmish battle report. Ratmen versus Vampiric Undead. The allies have gained unseen access to the Necromancer's castle. A group of Goblins, Saurians and Ratmen cleared the courtyard, defeated the guard, and the Ratmen Battle Master is now ready to lead his small force through the halls and hopefully find the passageway to the Necromancer's quarters. If the quest is successful, the next step will be an ambush attack on the Necromancer himself. First, the Ratmen must find the way, and the castle is surprisingly quiet, almost dead. Leading this deadly and dangerous mission is the Ratmen Battle Master. He is armed with a heavy, great weapon, and with him he has a group of warriors. They are armed with spears and have the counter ability. Then he has two groups of monks. They are armed with dual hand weapons and they are furious. And finally, he is accompanied by two castle rat swarms. They are fast, furious, have strider and armed with a swarm attack. The only enemy visible in the great castle hall is a ghoul leader. He is armed with toxin claw with poison, and he has regeneration. And then he has a pack of zombie wolves. They are fast, furious, and they have the scout ability. And they are, of course, undead. And then hidden from plain sight, a group of gargoyles that will fly, have scout, and attack with claws. And then we have three groups of stitched zombies. They are slow and undead, but they have the rising dead ability. That gives them the opportunity to ambush enemy units and deploy up to 1 inch away. And they will do so in the first couple of rounds of this battle. The undead will roll the black dice in this battle, and the Ratmen will roll the green dice. So a roll-off will decide that the undead will activate first in round number 1. Before the first activation, the zombie wolves will use their scout ability and they will move up to 12 inches. And from 3 different positions in the castle hall, the stone gargoyles will come to life and gather as a group and use their scout ability as well. All scout moves are done and all forces are in position. And the first unit to activate will be the gargoyles, and they will immediately attack the monks. They have 6 claw attacks and they will hit on 5s, so only 1 hit. The monks have a rather weak defense of 5, so they must block the attack, and that will immediately remove 1 of the monks. Now the 2 remaining monks can fight back. They are armed with dual hand weapons, so maybe they can do damage to the gargoyles. And they hit on 5s, and that gives them 2 good hits. Let's see if they can scratch the gargoyles' stone surface. They can. They need 5s to defend, so 1 hit will take down and smash 1 gargoyle into stone pieces. Brutal battle to begin with. And now the Battle Master commands his second group of monks to charge the zombie wolves. The monks are furious. They have 6 attacks. They will hit on 5s, but they are looking for 6s to have extra hits. That looks like 1 regular hit and 1 hit. That will be a furious hit and give them an additional, for a total of 3 hits against the wolves. They defend on 5s, and they actually defend 2 hits, but 1 wolf will leave. Now the remaining 2 wolves will viciously bite back. Ooh, and they hit twice. And again, the monks must block with rolls of 5, and they failed them both. So they took out 2 monks. And that was the end of that battle. But the wolves are hungry for more. They will ignore the monk and instead charge the warriors. They have fought already, so they will need 6s. And the warriors will be able to attack them first because they have the counter ability. So 3 attacks against the wolves, they will fail each and every one of them. So no counter attacks. Now it's the wolves. They will need 6s because they are fatigued. Ooh, and that is 1 hit. Not bad. The warriors must block with a 5, and no one poor rat warrior is eaten by a zombie wolf, and they will move back 1 inch. Luckily, some of the coastal rats have joined the Battle Master in combat, and they now charge the gargoyles. They have a tough value of 3 as a unit, and they will need 6s to hit anything. But if they do, they are furious, so they will have an extra hit. In this case, they did not hit anything. The gargoyles turn around and attack back, and they too have fought already this round, so they will need 6s. They seem to be more capable. 1 hit back against the rats. The rats block with 6, and they take 1 hit, and that gives them 1 wound, and they will back off. And now the final undead unit, at least the final visible unit. The ghoul leader will charge the remaining monk. He has a toxin claw, 3 attacks. He will hit on force, and he will fail all attacks. The lucky monk will return the attack. He is fatigued, but he has 1 good hit with a roll of 6, and the ghoul leader fails his defense roll, but he has regeneration. So let's see if he can on a roll of 5 or 6. No, he will not regenerate, so he takes a wound. The Battle Master commands his troops forward, and now he charges himself. He's eager to destroy the gargoyles. And he has a strong attack with his heavy great weapon. He will hit on force, and it's an AP3 weapon. The gargoyles must roll 6, and they fail both attacks. So 1 of them is immediately destroyed, and the remaining is down with 1 wound. And now the gargoyle must roll on the wound chart. And we have 1 stunned gargoyle in the castle hall. And that leaves a golden opportunity for the group of monks. They can charge the stunned gargoyle, and they will take it out immediately. A small victory for the Ratmen. They have eliminated 1 of the enemy units. Now let's see if the final rat swarm can eliminate the ghoul leader. No, they will hit nothing. And the ghoul leader has already fought. He will still try to smash a couple of rats if he can. His 3 attacks. And he will hit once this time. And it's a poisonous attack, so it will have consequences if the defense roll is an unmodified 6, but it's not in this case. The rats take 1 wound. Finally, the rat warriors will advance. They will try to make it through the castle hall, but they do not charge any enemy units. So this is how it looks after the first round. Brutal combat. Stone statues come to life, but the worst is yet to come for the Ratmen. Let's proceed to round number 2. From the shadows and the dark corners of the halls, suddenly zombies appear very, very close to the Ratmen. 2 groups of stitched zombies, and the dead will activate first in round 2, and 1 of the zombie groups will immediately charge. A Ratman monk. They will hit with 1 of their claw attacks, and the monk must block with a roll of 5, otherwise he will be taken down, and he is not successful. He will take 1 wound, and he's forced to roll on the wound chart. The zombies ambushed him. He was taken completely by surprise, and with a roll of 5, it's too much. He is clawed to death by the rising dead. The other group of monks will charge the wolves. They are furious, so when they charge, they will have an advantage if they can roll a 6. They have 4 attacks and awful attack, awful dice rolling. The wolves now can fight back, and this time they haven't fought, so they have fresh attacks. Zombie wolves with vicious bites. Hell, and that looks really, really bad for the monks. 3 bites. Can they block any of them? Oh, and they actually block 2, but still 1 monk is taken out, leaving only 1 behind. The second group of zombies aim for the Battle Master, and they are able to take him out with 1 good attack. 6 attacks with their claws, and they need 5s. But again, only 1 hit. Still, the Battle Master, of course, has to block the attack. He will need a 4. No, not enough. So now the Battle Master will take 1 wound. But he can swing his greatsword back at the zombies. And apparently he is very shaky at the moment. He will hit absolutely nothing. And the castle rats here have unfinished business with the ghoul leader. So it's a charge, and they hit with 1 of their attacks, and that immediately gives them 2. Because they are furious, so the ghoul leader must block 2 attacks. And he has a weak defense of 5, and he fails them both. That could potentially take him out. But we will have to wait and see if he can regenerate any of them, and he regenerates both hits. So not 3, but back to 1 wound, and then he will turn around, and it's payback time. And the ghoul leader will have 2 hits. The rats must roll 6, and they do not, so they take 2 wounds, and that takes them to 3. The rats will go down, and the roll on the wound chart is a 2, so they are stunned. Now the zombie wolves will try to finish the remaining monk. They have fought, they need 6s, but they will have 1 hit out of the 4 attacks. The monk must block with a 5, and he is overwhelmed by zombie wolves. He takes 1 wound and goes down. The roll on the wound chart, it's a 6. He's out. It's beginning to look like a disaster for the Ratman and his troops. He must rely on castle rats to keep him in this battle. They need 6s. They have 4 attacks. And we have 1 roll of 6. So that's 2 hits again, because they are furious. And the wolves fail both attacks. They cannot block any of the hits. So 1 wolf is out. The final one will go down. And the roll on the wound chart for the zombie wolf, it's a 5. Would you believe it? A swarm of castle rats just took out a unit of zombie wolves. Well, the ghoul leader has yet to activate, so he will attack the Ratmen warriors, and they will be able to counter him 1 hit, so he takes 1 spear attack before he can attack himself. Now let's see if he can block it. It's a 4. It's not enough. He will take 1 wound unless he can regenerate, and this time he fails his regeneration. He's on 2 wounds now, but now he can attack. But the tired ghoul will not hit anything, so he will back off. With only 1 wound left, the Battle Master takes the chance and charges the ghoul, even though they have fought before, both of them. And he will hit once, and that could be enough to take down the ghoul. He fails his defense, but he regenerates. So unlucky for the Battle Master. Now he will have to take the consequences. The ghoul fights back, and he hits once. It's a poisonous hit, so the Battle Master must re-roll a 6, and look what happens here. He rolls a 6, And in his second attempt, he rolls a 4, and that is enough to block the ghoul's attack. But it was a missed opportunity. He could have taken down the ghoul, and this battle would have looked differently. Now, the warriors still have their activation. They could charge the ghoul instead. They position themselves between the battle master and the zombies. They take up a defensive position, and that could be very necessary. At the end of round 2, the Ratmen really took some damage in this turn. The zombies ambushed them, and both units of monks are eliminated. The undead forces seem to be in control. It's round 3. And as if things were not bad enough, the final group of stitched zombies will appear, and they will immediately activate an attack. The Battle Master, this could be his final breath. 6 claw attacks hitting on 5s. And we have 1 hit. He is already wounded. He cannot take more than 1 wound. That will take him down. Let's see if he can block it with a 4. And he raises his shield, blocks the attack, and he is still standing. Now he fights back. Only 1 hit though, and that is not really that effective. And the zombies fail. They need 6s to block. That will eliminate 1, but there are still 2 left. And maybe the Battle Master should have saved his attack, because now he's tired, but he still charges the ghoul leader. And he manages to hit the ghoul leader once, and he also takes him down to 3 wounds. The ghoul will go down, but he will survive the roll on the wound chart. He's stunned and still in the battle. So not quite good enough. The ghoul is still alive, or whatever you call an undead. The zombies could attack and take out the rats now, but instead the ghoul leader will activate and get back up. Otherwise he would be a very easy target. Next up, this rat swarm. And the rats will charge the zombies. Again, as usual, they will need 6s. And they will have 1 again. And that gives them 2 hits. And the zombies must defend. They also need 6s, and they will not roll any of those, so 2 zombies will be taken out by the rats. I guess the same rats that eliminated the zombie wolves. And the zombie will not hit the rats in return, and they will move back. So the zombie now makes an easy choice, a charge, and the other rat swarm will immediately be eliminated. And that takes the Ratmen down to half strength. The Rat Warriors will activate as the next unit, and they will also try to defeat the ghoul. He is the target of several attacks, and they hit with both of their attacks now. Finally, this could be the end of the ghoul. He will block 1 of the hits, but he will take 1. And now he must rely on his regeneration. He will fail. And again, he's taken down, this time with 4 wounds. Can he survive that? Let's see the roll on the wound chart. It's a 5. So finally, the ghoul leader had too much, and he is eliminated. Now the undead are also down to half strength. But it's not over yet this round. The group with 3 zombies will attack the Battle Master. He has 2 wounds already. Will he be able to survive this attack? Well, it certainly looks like he's not, because the zombies will hit 4 times. He will need force to block, and he will need a lot. And it's a decent defense roll with 2 good blocks, but it's not enough to keep the Battle Master on his legs. He will take a total of 4 wounds and go down. Now the roll on the wound chart. It's a low roll, so he is stunned, but his troops are down to half strength, and that looks bad. Because at the end of the third round, both forces will face morale tests. And the stunned Battle Master will sadly automatically fail. So he leaves the battle. And that means he leaves his group of warriors and the rat swarm in the castle. And the warriors will pass their morale test. Now let's see, the rats are fearless. They will fail their test, but if they can roll a 4 or more, and they can, they still will continue the fight alongside the warriors. Now the zombies, they must roll a die, and on a 1, 2, or a 3 they will take a wound. And, well, that actually removes one of the zombies and takes the other one down with 1 wound. And then the group with 3 zombies, and 2 of them will collapse and leave the battle. This could be a slight hope for the remaining rats. Now the final zombie, and that one will pass just fine. Well, let's go to round number 4. This time the rats will activate first, and the warriors will charge the stunned zombie, and that will remove that one. Now, what is up next? The remaining zombie here will attack the rat swarm, and no hits at all. And the rats will fight back, of course. And, well, they do not hit anything at all. They need 6s anyway, so it doesn't really matter how many times they fight each round. So they will activate again, and they will charge the remaining lonely zombie. Still, they will hit nothing. The zombie will fight back, and there will be 1 hit. And that will most likely... Whoa, look at that! The rats actually blocked the attack. And that leaves 1 activation in this round. That is the zombie. And, well, the zombie will give it another go with the rats and will hit again. And this time, the rats will take a 2nd wound. They are still alive. And then they will attack back and hit nothing. A very short round, but still we need to face morale test at the end of the round. And we will begin with this zombie, and it's a failed morale test. The zombie will go down and take a wound, but still only be stunned, and the 2nd zombie is just fine. Now the warriors, they will need a roll of 5, and they make it again. Incredible. And the rat swarm will fail, but it's fearless, and even though it's enough for the rats for now, they will return to the castle sewers, and we will proceed to round 5. And once again, the rat warriors will activate and take out a stunned zombie. And now they can await the attack from the only remaining undead unit in the castle hall. And they will be waiting with their spears, because even though the zombie will charge them, they will attack first. And they will have 1 hit against the zombie. And it's a good hit. The zombie will go down, so there will be no further attacks. And the zombie will be stunned now. So if the Ratmen warriors can control their fear now and pass a morale test at the end of this round, they will be left standing and they will win this battle. They will need a 5 to pass the morale test. They are not fearless, but they will make it for the 3rd time in a row. These Ratmen warriors certainly are fearless. They stand alone in the castle hall as the only creatures, living or dead, and they have won this battle. And without the threat of undead forces in the castle hall, they can search and they can find the door and the passageway to the Necromancer's quarters. They have led the way to the very final step of this mission. the attack on the Necromancer himself. Thanks a lot for watching this battle report. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, please like and subscribe to the channel, and I hope you'll join me for future battle reps.